After backtracking about his heritage amid the allegations about his company's bid for federal contracts, Liberal MP Randy Boissonnault is leaving his cabinet post as employment minister. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his office making the announcement, saying they agreed that the Edmonton MP step away while he attempts to clear his name. Boissonnault was facing calls to resign following a National Post report saying the MP's grandmother was not Indigenous. Jason Gaidola joins us live with the latest tonight. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Métis. Boissonnault had clarified that it was his adoptive mother and brother who were actually Métis when faced questions about his family tree. His departure was announced minutes before MPs attended question period today.
Another member within Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's cabinet is gone amid allegations over his lineage and business dealings.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, the member for Edmonton Centre has stepped down from cabinet to focus on clearing these allegations.
Employment Minister Randy Boissonnault is walking away from his post, with Trudeau's office releasing this statement today. The Prime Minister and MP Randy Boissonnault have agreed that Mr. Boissonnault will step away from cabinet effective immediately. Mr. Boissonnault will focus on clearing the allegations made against him.
I think anytime there's questions about an individual who might actually have the context behind the story, the person closest to it is best positioned. My experience with Randy is that he's been professional in discharging his responsibilities.
Boissonnault has been under intense scrutiny over reports from the National Post about his heritage. The MP had previously been identified as First Nations, only to clarify that his adoptive mother and brother were Métis. Boissonnault has since apologized for the shift in claims, but also faces allegations over a company he co-owns, one that claims to be Indigenous owned, and using that claim to apply for government contracts.
Other members of the caucus, of the cabinet, even the Prime Minister were sort of saying, well, you know, talk to Randy about that. They weren't trying to defend him. They were leaving it to him to defend himself. And this has just taken another step.
The reports sparked calls for the minister to resign from both the Conservatives and the NDP.
By the sounds of things, it was a discussion. It was becoming obviously a bigger problem for the Liberals, because it wasn't just the Conservatives attacking Mr. Boissonnault, the NDP had joined the chorus. So as more and more people are raising questions and it becomes more and more the focus of what's happening in question period.
Why is it that he fired a real Indigenous minister for telling the truth while trying to keep in place a fake Indigenous minister who told falsehood?
The Tories continue to pile on, with leader Pierre Poilievre referencing former cabinet minister and First Nations woman Jody Wilson-Raybould, who took shots at Trudeau for not removing Boissonnault sooner. Boissonnault had also reportedly denied any involvement or knowing of his business partner's attempt to gain federal contracts, with the claim that the business is Indigenous owned. He also denied any links to other allegations as well.
We learned that his company shares a mailing address with an international drug trafficker who's been busted for cocaine not once but twice. He's been caught out in falsehoods, caught faking Indigenous identity.
The Honourable Minister for Employment and Workforce Development.
Mr. Speaker, as I said yesterday, I don't know the person referred to in that article. I've never met that person. It's stated in the article, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
He is not supposed to be involved in his business affairs, and if his partner has behaved badly, it reflects on him in terms of his choice of a business partner. But beyond that, I don't think you hold him accountable for that.
Trending Now reached out to Boissonnault's office today, asking about his heritage and his dealings regarding his business firm. We have yet to hear back.
Don't necessarily resign because they agree with the accusations. They resign so that their colleagues can do the work they need to do. Randy probably has made that difficult decision along those lines. But I'll tell you, as he's told me, he's been frank, straightforward, and honest about his relationship to the Indigenous communities, in this case the Métis community in Alberta, right from the day go.
Veterans Affairs Minister Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor will temporarily take on his cabinet portfolios. They was also the minister responsible for official languages.